This happened when I was 19. Listen to the hairs on the back of your neck. My girlfriend and I were months away from being parents for the first time, and we were both working jobs. I worked in retail as a key holder. She was working as an assistant manager at a place in the local strip mall. After my shift one day, I took the deposit bag, wrapped it up in my work clothes, put all of that in a bag, and I went to walk the 5 or so minutes to my girlfriend's work. Just before I got to the door of the mall, a man came up and asked me if I could help start his car. He needs to get to work, but he can't do it himself. Now growing up, my family had cars like that, so I was like, damn, air intake or whatever, and I said I'd help. We walk around the corner of the mall to where a car is sitting. That's the car I'm gonna help start. I think to myself, man, so we just need to get in and I'll drive you to my car I need help starting. Hairs on the back of my neck start to rise. I have ignored gut instincts before. That is how I am with this GF at this time. But this is a sensation that very clearly is telling me, ignore these physiological warnings at your certain peril. I quickly explained to him I thought this was going to be a very quick thing and I have somewhere I need to be and I'm already late. I apologize and walk away from him into the mall, and watch him leave in the car before going to my girlfriend's workplace. I tell her we are going to scrap our plans for dinner and make it home ASAP, dropping the deposit bag on the way. As we're crossing the parking lots to head to the bank in a roundabout way, we see the same dude, who was in a hurry to get to work, SLOWLY, driving around a Target parking lot just scoping people out. There is no doubt in my mind I would have certainly regretted getting into a car with that man that day. There is a good chance I wouldn't be able to type this story out today. I was vacuuming my house at 9:30 p.m. with my music playing when I get a knock on my door. My boyfriend was at work and I was not expecting company, especially so late at night. I turn my music down and realize the door is not fucking locked. Instantly, I'm terrified. I'm only 4 feet 10 inches, so I had to prop myself up the wall to look through the peephole, carefully lock the door. More pounding. The man outside my door is no one that I recognize, looks disgruntled, dirty, quite frightening. He was short and stocky and looked angry. He grew frustrated knowing I just turned my music down. He heard me lock the door and started calling out, "Ma'am." More knocking. "Excuse me, ma'am." How the fuck did he know I was a woman? I look around the room and see my blinds were open, and realize he must have been watching me vacuum. Thankfully, my neighbors right across from me opened their doors. The husband asked, "Excuse me, who are you and what are you doing?" Startled, the creep fumbles and says, "Oh, good evening, sir. I was just going to offer my carpet cleaning services to her." The husband goes, "That's great. She doesn't want it. You need to leave right now." Creep left promptly. Afterwards, I called the police. My boyfriend closed up my blinds and texted the neighbors to thank them for scaring him away. I paid extra to live on the top floor, but it seems this creep was watching me from below. My brother is creepy. Help. Okay, so my brother is really creepy. We have about a 3-year age gap. When we were younger, he used to scare the shit out of me. My parents used to just think it was kids being kids, but as we got older it would get worse. He used to walk out of the kitchen with a knife and just stare at me with it. My parents would never believe it when I would say something. As we continued to grow older, he became more violent, as in he used to try to fight me, but it wouldn't be just play fighting. There would be actual punches and kicks involved, and since I was smaller I would come out with bruises. But he eventually grew more touchier, like he would brush up against me just to touch my lower back. At first I just thought it was just an accident, but he just kept going lower. Eventually I caught on that it wasn't an accident. I always told him to stop, but he didn't. So I eventually started yelling at him to stop. He did for a while, but still here and there he would do it. Recently, as in like 2 months ago when I turned 18, I found a hidden camera in my bathroom. I instantly knew it was his. I took it and took out the SD card and put the SD card in my lockbox and hid the camera in my room. 2 days later the camera was gone from my room, but I still have the SD card. About a month later there was this new clock in the bathroom and I just thought my mom bought it. But I checked it for cameras and didn't see any on the clock, but out of precaution I always has it covered or unplugged. Last week I found the old camera replaced with a new one. I asked my mom today if she was the one who bought the clock for the bathroom, and she said that she thought I bought it. So right away I went and checked it for a camera, and I found one. But that isn't the only thing weird, but at night he paces up and down our hallway, most nights only for about a minute. Sometimes he likes to knock on my door, or just stared at me when I'm not in my room. Right now I am in the process of sweeping my room for cameras because I still have no idea how he found that camera I hid in my room. Which literally freaks me out. I have no idea of what to do. I know I should probably tell my mom, but he gives me serious killer vibes. But I am also saving to get my own apartment, so hopefully I can do that and just avoid him. Hidden camera in the hotel I was showering in, so my stupid brand new water heater broke down from all the calcium and things in the water, and so we rented a hotel room so we could all get a shower. My hubby and teenage daughters had gone first. While they took their shower, I had already been looking for cameras after shows, and articles depicting warnings to check had me freaked out. My husband had laughed at me. So I thought we were safe. It wasn't until I was actually standing inside the shower that I saw the camera. You had to see it from a certain angle, wrapped around the light that had a cover over the bottom of it, but an opening all the way around the edges in the middle. I looked up and there it was. I screamed, face screaming in fear, and my hubby came running in. I told him when it was, and he checked, and sure enough, he took the bottom cover off and the camera fell down and was actually wired to the light and set to sit and point looking down into the shower. My husband ripped it out and marched straight to the office, and from there a fight ensued. The creepy guy got pissed. My husband was destroying his room and the owner called the cops. Well, my hubby is a hothead when he's on a moral mission and grabbed the guy up by the scruff of the collar, his mentality being, if I'm going to go to jail, I'm going to make it worth it. But the guy's wife come out, and by then I was dressed and there for backup, and she wanted to know what was happening. So I told her what happened. She said, wait right here. She had grabbed a knife from her room and was chasing the owner guy around with it, flushed face, when the cops showed up. The cops asked us what happened first. When we told them, they took the owner in and apparently found hundreds of videos in a private nook in his bedroom they're using to build a case on him with. So beware to check everywhere before ever undressing in a hotel.